Hello, my love, and welcome to the month of June. I actually just got done moments ago. I ended our Zoom meeting for the bonus Soulful Success Manifestation Ceremony, which I very intentionally planned for today. The time of this live recording, it is June 1st, and I love so many different things about what I do, but getting to lead these really beautiful, intentional healing experiences for groups of leaders and heart-centered entrepreneurs is like it takes the cake. It's one of my absolute favorite things. And before I sign off for the day, I wanted to share a few of the key things. Like I have my notes, a couple pages of notes from the session that I led from tonight. So I only want to take a couple minutes. I'm not going to take too much time here, but I'm curious, at the start of the month, the start of each new month, do you have any practices that help you set the tone or the intention for the month? Like, is there any journaling you like to do? Are there any meditations, any guided experiences that you like to plug into? Hi, Heather. Heather is inside of Magnetic Business Academy and the Soulful Success. That's a tongue twister, the Soulful Success Live Experience. So Heather, you will love what we just did. I'm very excited for you to be able to go back to that and experience that manifestation ceremony. But let me know if you have any certain practices. I know there was a period of time where the idea of setting aside time at the beginning of each month felt silly and unnecessary, and who has time for that? We have goals, we have things to do, we have little people in my world to take care of. But what I have found is there's a very big difference in how I feel at the end of the months that I actually take just a little bit of time to set intentions, to set some goals, to get really clear on what I want, what I'm committed to, what's working, what's not working, what needs to shift, where we need to pivot or refine. I've got to tell you, I have been doing this coaching thing for this year will be a decade. In the fall of this year, it will be 10 full years of doing this full time. That is absolutely mind blowing. And so on my own journey, in a commitment to be able to support the people that I serve at the highest possible level, I'm always learning and I'm on my own healing journey and picking up tools and things. And so this was not something that I did really early on. I think it's something I've probably incorporated over the last 5 or 6 years. But even this far in my journey, I have to tell you, there are times when I get a little bit lazy around the beginning of the month and I'm like, I really don't want to do that planning thing. We'll just wing it. And I always regret winging it. I never regret setting aside 5, 10, 15 minutes. I led the women through a 1-hour ceremony. I personally participated in some of the intention setting. And so I want to share just really quickly some of the questions. I asked 3 very simple questions and so much came up for the women there. We also did some energy healing, some embodiment practices. And so those are things that we're not going to do here together today. If you want access to that replay, let me know and we can see about giving you access to that, or it's not too late to join us inside of the Soulful Success bundle and live experience. But tonight we actually used the metaphor of a book. I've been leading experiences like this for a really long time, and this is the first time that we have used a metaphor like this, and it felt very fitting. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I'm so excited. I'm going to be co-authoring a book, myself and a handful of mastermind sisters who I've partnered with this year. And the writing process is starting right now, this week, yesterday. What day is it? I'm all jumbled. This past Tuesday, we had our first meeting together where we came up with the theme of our chapters, potential chapter titles, different lessons we're going to share, aspects of our story. And I have to tell you, I'm very excited about co-authoring a book. We have a whole strategy launch plan for this to be a best-selling book. So knowing that I'm going to end this year being an Amazon bestseller is exciting, but it's also terrifying. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm happy to share that journey with you if that's something that you're interested in learning about or being a part of and witnessing along the way. I always like to say, no pun intended, that I am an open book and I love to share things that I know are going to make a difference for you. But tonight, for the Soulful Success Manifestation Ceremony and really feeling into the energy, that was part of what we did, was we did some reflection on our past. We worked with our past timeline, mining and excavating, I think that's the word I want to use, excavating lessons and wisdom and experiences from our past, while also leaving the past in the past and creating this really beautiful, open, clear path for us to create more of what we want. When we talked about how so often people completely unconsciously are carrying around the energy of their past, that's what creates a lot of the heaviness that we experience when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to intention setting, when it comes to visioning and forecasting for our future. And so we did this really beautiful energetic release of letting go of the things that we no longer need to carry, while keeping the lessons, everything we learned, the wisdom, the magic right here in our heart. And then we opened up the energy of what this month and the rest of this year has in store. And so again, using the metaphor of the book, I'm going to share these 3 questions that I asked the women, if I can remember them, because I don't have them all written down in my journal. Part of this was highly intuitive. But if 2023 is a book, then that means, and for this, we're going to play with that analogy, then that means that today, June 1st, is page 1 of chapter 6. We are starting chapter 6 of this beautiful, crazy, wild roller coaster of a story, of a book of 2023. And so kind of feeling in to this month, feeling into the energy of June. And we talked about the energetics of certain months and days and weeks and seasons, and how there's a collective energy, but also your story, your unique timeline holds a very potent energy for this month. So I had everybody feel into this month, where they're at, what they want, and even taking their energy out to the end of June and asking them, as you are writing your story, you are the author of your story. I like to say that I'm co-creating this story with God, universe, source, right? So keeping in mind the energy, where you want to be, what you're going to be celebrating, what are those things that you're going to include in your chapter of June? What are the themes? That's what I did with my mastermind sisters earlier this week. Came up with the themes for our chapter. What is your theme or your greatest intention for the month of June? Jot that down. Jot that down. The second question was, how do you want to feel when you get to the end of writing and then rereading this chapter, the month of June? How do you want to feel at the end of that? That's really potent, because often when we're setting goals or we're thinking about what we want, we can get wrapped up in what we think we should be doing or what we think we should want based on what other people want for us or what other people around us are doing or people in our industry. And so one of my favorite questions to start with is not, what do I want? Like, what do I want to attract or manifest in my 3D reality? But it's, how do I want to feel? What is that feeling? What is that sensation? What are the emotions and the energetic frequency of those emotions? And then what are the things that I can be doing and participating in that are going to create that feeling? And that helps determine the actions I'm going to take, where I'm going to engage, who I'm going to be interacting with, what I'm going to fill my calendar with. So the first question is, what is your greatest theme, desire, and or intention for the month of June? Number 2 is, take a moment to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, think about the energy of June. How do you want to feel at the end of this month? How do you want to feel at the end of this month? And I like short-term planning. Like I like weekly, monthly, no more than quarterly. The way that my brain works, I like to do things, especially because I'm highly empathic and intuitive. I can't plan a year ahead or 5 years ahead because I don't know how I'm going to feel then, right? So you can still be wildly successful and have this like beautiful, creative, fluid, intuitive presence in your business and in everything you do. But the third question, we went a little bit further out and I asked everybody to think about the story that they're writing for themselves when it comes to the year of 2023. So thinking beyond the month of June, when you think about the rest of this year, what are you committed to? If you really believe that you are the author of your story and 2023 is a big part of that, then what do you want to write in? What do you want to make sure gets included? What are you committed to? What do you want more than anything this year? And I had the women think about that. And it was so beautiful to get to hear their shares, to get to witness them in declaring what it is that they want, what it is that they're committed to see the emotion, the bigness of getting to share that in community with other women who are rooting for them. So I love what I do. I'm so grateful for what I do. And I know that many of you tuning in are a part of these experiences. And if you're not yet and you want to be, reach out to me. There are so many incredible ways that we can create magic together this month and beyond. Sending you off with so much love. Mwah. Happy June.